Hello, everybody. Welcome to Paddling Pool 379. We already are starting off on a great run of things with a disconnect. But that gives us a little more time to introduce these teams. I'm Signakari. Joining me on the mic is Fufu. Fufu, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Quite the chaotic start to the tournament as we are seeing a very fast DC as we went straight in. But again, as you said, a little bit more time to introduce ourselves and the teams that we have going on. Our first match here starting the stream will be Dragon Claw versus Hello Bro. Two teams that really fought their way across the bracket to get here, Sig.
Yeah, both of them coming off of Game 5 wins, some pretty tight sets. Hello Bro beating Distinct, and then I believe Dragonclaw beat Mahika 3-2, both of them. And now we're kicking things off on Rainmaker Museum d'Alfonsino. This is one of the classic Rainmaker maps, and honestly, if I realized I was playing 2 games of Rainmaker in a set, I would disconnect first thing as well.
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting to that 5th game, so you may not have to disconnect yet. It's only 1 for the start. Honestly, I think it could be worse on Rainmaker. Maybe not most players' most chosen map for Rainmaker, but alas, we're going to be going in without disconnects this time. I love Mio. I know what you are. I love Xenoblade 3. But some pretty interesting comps here going on. Not surprised to see the pencils. Honestly, more surprising to not see single leader on this field.
Yeah, leader just so strong as of recent, able to control a lot of space with that one shot, but Pen no slouch in its own right either, just able to get a lot of map control, have that tactical cooler and compress some rolls, allow for a little bit more fragging power between these two teams. Miner's stuck between a rock and a hard place with the Pen, and the Crab staring them down goes down. Shiva's immediately there to try and push forwards, but the Rainmaker almost being dunked for Dragonclaw. There's the early checkpoint, and 30 seconds in, you'll take that even if you lose a couple of players, because look at where, I believe that's Mirage. Look where Mirage is on top mid, just immediately backing up, giving the jumps. And now Dragonclaw, they're ready to reset and keep going, even in the face of an ink vac from Hello Bro.
Yeah, notice how they still have 3 players up here. I love how Chiva's up ahead in front of Sam on that Rainmaker, opting to give him a little bit more support, but Sam's going to move forward, trying to get some points on the board. Quickly stopped by the players of Hello Bro, and as they are able to get a bit more ink on their side of the map, it's just moving that Rainmaker forward and picking it up by Miner there, able to cause a lot more mayhem. 2 players down on Dragonclaw. It seems like this is going to be a successful defense as long as they can get Sam out of there. See those little bit of fights happening, and Sam is able to get out with their life.
Yeah, really solid stall from Sam there for a little bit. Allows Shiva to get into a pretty interesting position, but ends up dropping immediately as Spec clears that. The rest of Hello Bro is able to find a couple more picks. Sam out on the respawn too. And it's just Mirage left on the pencil, who has to back all the way up to spawn. That's a checkpoint and the lead for Hello Bro with that ink vac. They're looking to push even further. Mar is already down to 10 points left. The vac shot just to clear some space. It looks like, I think that's Rayu, is able to just push forward, get the pop with the strikes thanks to Miner, I think, and just go down to 4 points. It's one hell of a push to open things up for Hello Bro.
You pretty much have to knock out of your Dragonclaw. What a push there from Hello Bro, really taking it to the limit. And that was a very quick push to that 4 points remaining there, and I have to give props where props are due. This is going to be quite the uphill battle here for Dragonclaw. Do have the Rainmaker in hand, trying to cause a lot more pressure. I love how the Rainmaker holder here is Mirage here is just pushing those shots here on the right, just trying to give more space for their team, but their team did not respond to the call as they were occupied in the back. That is 3 down on Dragonclaw, and a wipeout to make things worse. Hello Bro now has a whole nother opportunity to get themselves in a much more advantageous position. Now, the question is, are they going to go for a straight knockout at some point, or are they just going to hold the game however they want here, just keep the Rainmaker solved?
The world is their oyster right now. I mean, there's 2 minutes left. You have a lead of almost 50 points, and Spec and Miner are just doing so much damage on the spinner. Mirage has to jump out here as well. Mar does end up having to pop the Rainmaker shield, but it looks like they're just trying to keep it healthy. They're playing the long game, just stalling out for as long as humanly possible. Sam's Crab not able to find anything, but Spec's Sword is able to find one, traded out by Shiva, who drops immediately, gets traded out by Rayu, but the vac comes through. Sam's not able to do much, neither is Mirage, and Hello Bro, they just have so many good defensive tools right now, Fufu, and there's no real opportunity for Dragonclaw to get back in. What do you think they need to just kind of take this back and at least get a chance to push again?
I think just being a little bit more coordinated. I noticed that they are going down in pairs when it comes down to losing their players. You know, you either go 2 or 3 at once. And when you have players separating by themselves, I feel like their mental has shifted a bit as they find themselves in such a difficult position, especially in the point difference. And again, you notice here just those last-ditch efforts from so many players, and I think that's what's leading to this staggering. But it seems that they may find an opportunity. I did see that 2 down here for Hello Bro, and the Rainmaker is no more. Find China over here, bringing the splash down and getting themselves to Hello Bro's pot. This may be the calling card that Dragon Claw needs if they can continue to move forward with the rest of their teammates. They're still stuck in mid, but it doesn't stop the slow moving wave, Sig.
No, they're still going. Shiva's got so much space. The Killer Whale makes even more. Tacticooler is up for another possible play to be made. The Blaster's not able to find anything, but with them being back so quickly, they're able to just find another opportunity to get back in. Looks like Ryu's in that bottom right, gets picked off immediately, and now we're in a 4v3 for Dragonclaw. If they have any opportunity to push down to 4 points, now is the time. The strikes find a pick on a Sam, and with the Rainmaker being on the grates, though, that is such a difficult spot to be put in. The Blaster is on the right-hand side, does have to jump out to safety to that pencil, and the Inkback is used fairly early as well. Is able to find 2 picks, though, and I mean, that just clears out all the mid for Hello Bro. They're able to get that Rainmaker picked back up. Sam's not able to do anything other than just find a consolation pick at this point, because there's nobody else that's able to find that Rainmaker for the side of Dragonclaw, and Hello Bro, they're just going to hold this Booyah Bomb and stall out the rest of the overtime clock at this point.
Yeah, the Rainmaker is just waiting to be in their hand, but it looks like they didn't even want to touch it as the whistle blows and Hello Bro is able to get a relatively dominant first game on the board. Dragonclaw really collected themselves towards the end as they were in a much more familiar territory of that offense, but it seems like they just weren't able to see it. They're losing the Rainmaker on the grates was so unfortunate. At that point, you are just in severe disadvantage, and Hello Bro, I think, just saw that and saw it through from there.
Yeah, that one's really tough spot to be put in, especially when you don't have an Inkvac that like Hello Bro does. So you don't have a consistent option to dealing with just the invincible bucket or sword or anything that they have access to, other than maybe hoping to fill the vac. But you don't have a lot of range to do that, so you're always taking a constant risk. And Hello Bro were really able to leverage that to get those massive pushes to hold for almost 2 minutes. It was only the last 30 seconds in which Dragonclaw were able to actually make it back to mid and start trying to push again. And that's just not sustainable or really reasonable, especially when all Hello Bro has to do is charge their specials and just wait for somebody to overstep, make a mistake, and something happen there.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate. I feel like it's going to be interesting because our next match is one of similar caliber, still that open mid map, and to make things worse, it's on Clan Blitz, where really you got to juggle so many more things. So this could very well be another one of Hello Bros if they continue this same format, but I would really like to see Dragonclaw adapt a little bit more and have a little bit more of an idea of what they should do next.
Yeah, Scorched Gorge is like Museum in a little bit of a different font. You have the elevated mid, you have these just the rest of it kind of low down, and then the pit where you can drop into from your spawn. But it's still not easy to push into. The Inkvac will definitely be doing a lot of work. But I think Dragonclaw might have a bit of a better time. Crab Tank feels a lot stronger on this map. You have some more options on where to pop it, and just the options feel a little bit stronger in terms of just a height advantage and everything, especially if you pop it on snipe or on top mid. And it looks like Sam's going to be sticking with it. However, the Blaster player I think that's Cool Ace is going to be switching over to the Luna Blaster Neo with the Stamp and the Fizzy. Really like that kit switch just for a little bit more poking ability.
Yeah, it's also when you're looking underneath the basket, that is just perfect opportunity to take so much space with one hammer. But already Dragonclaw finding themselves on the back foot, losing their first player, and already, even now, some pretty interesting openings here. Nothing too crazy happening as both teams are just fighting for mid. I do love how Sam popped that crab relatively quickly. Just to try and give Dragonclaw more of an opportunity, and that opportunity definitely was found as all players are moving forward onto this offense, really struggling to get some clamps together as it is only over 30 seconds in the game. They are able to hold a little bit of space, but Hello Bro is going to be fighting back just as fast and taking 2 players out and making that 3, and that is a quick reversal for Hello Bro.
Yeah, and there's the Inkvac as well, just to kind of kickstart that fight. Hello Bro now are just sitting underneath the basket. Now they have to find the clams in order to score, but they're able to make one power clam. Ryu's able to dunk it. The Booyah Bomb comes through for Spec to just make the space, force a tough situation for Cool Ace, and now Hello Bro, they're just able to start scoring, already down to 68 points, and they're holding a few of these clams, just trying to cycle some of these pods in mid, trying to get a little bit more. They're getting the ones on Snipe Fufu, and that's just a recipe for success. I'm already almost down to 40 points here if they get the rest of the clams in.
No, yeah, I like how you talk about the clams on Snipe because they can respawn and give even more from this point, just trying to keep it open as long as they can. One player down on each side, and these clams are still making their way to the basket. Little by little, these points continue to chip down, but all good things must come to an end as Hello Bro's push is over, but not before making massive damage to Dragonclaw. 17 points remaining on the board for them. It takes a push and then some just to take the KO if they really feel like it, but Dragonclaw does have a ball at their disposal, but losing 2-3 players and it's just your pen left. There's nothing you can do with that. There's no pushing power that remains on that front as Hello Bro is once again finding themselves underneath the basket of Dragonclaw. All of their players moving forward, collecting the clams, and just doing a better job at managing their resources, leading to another potential push here. If no, oh my god, she won the back taking two and making that a collaboration as 2 players down from Hello Bro. No push is happening, saving themselves from a little bit of damage.
Really solid fight, game-saving play from Shiva there, able to find 2 like you just said, and now Dragonclaw have a little bit more of a foothold in mid. They still don't have as much. We see Spec over on the right-hand side immediately getting picked off, but still just made so much space for Hello Bro. The Ultra Stamp didn't quite find anything, and Shiva ends up going down. Sam's Crab Tank does end up getting Mirage a little bit towards the right-hand side, but that left-hand side is suffering, and now Spec and Miner are just walking forwards. Ryu right behind them, and Mar all the way on that left-hand side, just able to just provide that massive crossfire. And with the Booyah Bomb, Mirage is not going to have a good time. Never mind, it's Shiva who's not going to have fun. Immediately forced back, just has to find a way to stall for as long as possible. Thankfully, 52 Gal has that splash wall, is really good at stalling out, and now Dragonclaw just has the makings of a fantastic push here. They have the power clam. There are a lot of pods up nearby for them to just start cycling and scoring. They're just waiting on a few of these picks, and with Spec going down, that's the opportunity, and they're able to get scoring. Sam's Crab Tank as well doing some work, and with Cool Ace just finding that pick on the Miner, this is exactly what they were looking for.
Yeah, Dragonclaw finding themselves in much more familiar territory of an offense, but it seems that time may just be ending soon, question mark, as that was 1 player only down, but the rest of Hello Bro quickly moving forward to try and put a stop to any more clams are making their way into the basket. 2 players up at the front, that was Specs and Miner, doing a great job at tag teaming, especially with the guys in the back. That was beautiful crossfire, beautiful teamwork on that retake, and look how fast they're moving here to get another push for themselves, potentially looking to knock this out as 3 players are still up on Hello Bro, and the back, a beautiful back here to keep this. And Specs understood the assignment, putting that Booyah Bomb down and just trying to keep things going. How are you alive? Alive, but that basket is closing, and some extra penalty points out of the way for Hello Bro.
What a fantastic push from Hello Bro. I mean, Spec and Ryu just doing so much damage, stalling for so long. They weren't able to score, but now there's only about 35 seconds left for Dragonclaw to work with, plus the overtime if they can hold this power clan for as long as possible. And, I mean, they don't have a lot of space. They just went a member down again. Sam has the crab up top, but isn't really able to find anything as Spec is right there immediately. The Snipe Riders as well, just trying to get some chip damage. Sam's rushing, making a mad dash for that score. The strikes come through, it's not enough, and now Dragonclaw have some space. Ryu has the ink fact, but there's nobody to follow up. This is exactly, again, what Dragonclaw were looking for, but Spec, again, the madman on the Stamper is just doing everything that Hello Bro needs. The wipeout comes through, and there's no economy left for Dragonclaw. Hello Bro, they put themselves on set point, and wow, what a scramble at the end. It was so close to just flipping the other way, but Hello Bro able to come through. The heroics from Spec, phenomenal sword gameplay.
Spec came in like the Mercy gif. I can't even lie, like extending the hand out, I'm here. That's literally what that felt like right there. But I have to give props. Hello Bro just does such a good job on that retake. They're able to really collect themselves together and just put that retake forward. It's just like, okay, we waste no time, kill these guys, we score, we win, done.
Yeah, I mean, that was just fantastically executed from Hello Bro. Now we're going to a slightly different map, definitely a little bit tougher to kind of make work with all of the... It's tougher to just get back in with these lockouts. You're going to need to rely on Ryu's Inkfact a little bit more. The heroics from Spec just dropping and finding two, not really able to happen as much on Umami Ruins. There's not a lot of easy spots to drop and just immediately find a melee slash or anything, but still very doable. And honestly, favorable for Hello Bro because they have that sword bucket combo, and that mid range is really good at poking anywhere you want on the map, just wherever. If it's top mid, if it's one of the lower sides on the right, or even in pit, they've really got a strong comp going, and that Inkfact is going to help them break into the spawn for a really solid lockout too.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried here with Dragonclaw is having such a short range comp as well, especially against that much mid range on Hello Bro. I am incredibly worried for the players of Dragonclaw because this could very well be incredibly different, just getting out range at every direction you're going, already losing one player while they're at it, just not the disadvantage that you want to be in on Dragonclaw. I can definitely feel a little bit of that anxiety coming into this match, especially as you don't want to get knocked into the losers bracket, but Hello Bro just feels confident in their abilities and is just moving forward with that speed, that grace, and just looking to potentially take some players out from Dragonclaw in this opening.
Yeah, and Cool Ace isn't able to get anything going because of Ryu's Inkfact. That immediately means Hello Bro is just chasing down the rest of Dragonclaw. 3 players down. The Ultra Stamp is popped, but is not going to find anybody. Spec does end up getting chipped out and going down for it, though, and that gives Dragonclaw a little bit of a mulligan here, a little bit of a chance to get back in. They're able to just rush down the rest of Hello Bro, get that cap, put the penalty on. Already down to 50 points, though. It's pretty solid start for Hello Bro, and now this is where things might struggle for them just a little bit on this retake. They've got to find a pick. They might have to wait for the Inkfact. Miner does have the strike, so maybe they could find something there, and it looks like they're immediately popping them on the zone. Sam has to swing out, is immediately chipped out and found by those tri-strikes, the Booyah Bomb, and the Vac. Every special is used, and Hello Bro with a pretty clean retake there, as well as a couple picks to go along with it.
I think clean is an understatement. They chain their specials beautifully and all move forward as one unit. This is what scrumptiously dumptious retakes look like, and they are ruling that. That said, we got a little bit of fine shine in the back line that is going to be quickly broken and disposed of just as fast as they got back there, but Hello Bro is able to hold the fort. 2 players down on Dragonclaw as they are just trying to wait for their teammates to find some sort of answer. Sam is bringing that crap back out to hopefully make some space for the rest of their squad, and doing so, the rest are moving forward. This could be the zone cap for Hello Claw, and there they go. That's not Hello Claw, that's Dragonclaw. They are able to get the zone capped, and Hello Bro is going to be pushed back a little bit here.
Yep, and there we go. Cool Ace with the Ultra Stamp, looking to try and find a pick with it. Gets the one onto Ryu. There's the Inkfact gone. And honestly, on a pretty solid cooldown now. Spec does pop the Booyah Bomb, but has to find one at least to find a little bit of value. Chiva jumps off for the trade. You know what? We will take that. If you are Hello Bro, you're able to neutralize, keep the player advantage. Pretty even so far, and the strikes will come through just to further neutralize the zones. Now you've got a little bit of a foothold in mid. Dragonclaw is backed up pretty far here, just trying to play a little bit more discipline. Maybe for one of those specials or the Fizzy Bombs finding a pick. There's Cool Ace ending up going down, and there's the penalty applied. Hello Bro back in top mid with a little bit of space, but the Killer Whale from Chiva is going to force them back. Chiva's just walking, immediately found by Ryu, and the Crab Tank from Sam isn't going to do all that much as Cool Ace goes down too.
Yeah, and I love how Hello Bro is still able to maintain that neutral and just try to keep this as yellow as they can here. I do see Miner take some tag teams there with Ryu. I love the 2-for-1s that Hello Bro is pulling out. They're always fighting in pairs for the most part and chaining those specials beautifully. That is going to be another successful retake from them. Able to keep that zone cap. 2 down on Dragonclaw, finding themselves a little bit on that disadvantageous position, but that is actually 2 down on each side. I do see Sam here in the front lanes trying to find some sort of opportunity, maybe poke a little bit as some of their teammates do make their way in. I love this position from Miner. Such a strong position, but it's a question of how long it's going to last with 2 players staring him down. 2 down on Hello Bro. That is going to be Dragonclaw's opportunity to take the zone here, to take the zone and keep themselves moving forward.
Yeah, and Cool Ace finding another pick just to stagger Hello Bro even a little bit more on that retake. It's not going to matter all that much as 2 players are already on that left-hand side, just able to cap that first zone, get the full cap with Mar on that right-hand side and the pencil, but Shiva's got a flank here, looking for just a little bit of space. pops the splash ball, but immediately gets popped themselves, and now Dragon Claw, they're at a player disadvantage again. They're 2 down, and with Ryu just walking forwards, finding the Snipe Rider, and Sam dropping, this is danger territory for them. They might get KO'd here. They have to find something, but with Hello Bro just being indomitable so far, I don't see it happening, Fufu. It's looking dire.
This stagger is looking generational, and I don't think the last 12 ticks here are going to be enough for Dragon Claw, especially when another vac is making its way through. There is potentially an out, but there's an out. That is 3 down on Hello Bro. Dragon Claw has not seen the last game's finish yet. This is pretty much her last opportunity to keep it in check and keep things going. But Miner here in the back line is trying to fight from back to front as the rest of their teammates fight forward, able to get those two, keeping this pin distracted. And with no support on board, the zones turn yellow sig, and the last 7 seconds remain. It's can Dragon Claw get this? Is the question. Is there enough blue on the field? It's right there.
Oh no!
Hello Bro, just by a smidge, is able to get that 3-0.
By the skin of their teeth, they're able to just clean it up. No overtime needed. That last fight at the end there, a really solid play from Miner, just preventing the pencil from even considering capping the zone. That just made the entire difference, gave Hello Bro a really solid advantage. They had all the map that they needed in that 3v3, and then that just allowed them to clean up the sweep there. Really solid work from Hello Bro. Tough to see if you are Dragon Claw, though.
Absolutely, but you know, when you look at it from the overhead, Hello Bro was just much more collected and much more clean on their retakes and offenses. They staggered significantly less than Dragon Claw did, and I think that just led to those dominant victories that they had over them. Dragon Claw, you got to give them props though. They didn't immediately get knocked out in any of these, despite what the 3-0 says, and they definitely still put up a good fight. But Hello Bro executed just about everything a little bit more efficiently.
And that's gonna book them a ticket to the winners finals against our #1 seed Parish Song. They just took another very tight game 5 win over Deutschland, which is, I believe, a blanks pickup with Mako. Pretty solid stuff. But Hello Bro is going over to winners finals there. Going to be a pretty tough and very interesting set, because I think that Parasong have 3 backline players on their roster.
3?
Yep, they've got Felty, who plays leader and pencil, Zekrom, who plays pencil and probably other stuff, and then Devin 4K, and I'll let you guess what Devin plays.
I don't know, heavy splatling.
Yeah, close enough.
Of course, bringing those leaders onto the field. Hold on, I feel like I'm not matching here. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I feel like I haven't matched yet. There you go.
Oh, the Goober's out.
Oh, yeah.
The Goober has broken containment.
We have broken containment. We are here goobering out. I need to redo this Goober. I need to have the longest ears in the West. But yeah, it's a little bit of a wait here until we do reach finals. So hopefully you guys can bear with us as the next match is prepared. For now, we're going to go on a little bit of a break. And welcome back, guys, to Paddling Pool 379. We had a little bit of a 2-minute break as we enter our winners bracket finals, bringing Paris Shong versus Hello Bro. Again, I am Fufu, joined by the one and only Sig.
And we've got one heck of a winners semis, or winners finals for us right now. We've got Hello Bro, who just took a pretty solid 3-0. It was close on some of the games, but a solid 3-0 win over Seed 2 over Dragonclaw. And then Paris Song coming off a tight Game 5 win against our Seed 5 Deutschland, who, if you're familiar with EU Splatoon at all, or Ludi, that's Blanks plus Mako as the pickup. But we're kicking things off again. We're going back to Rainmaker on Museum d'Alfonsino, Fufu, and I have to imagine this is going to be a tougher bout for Hello Bro than Game 1.
No, yeah. Again, we're back at the building, but at least some of the maps later on look a lot better. You gotta climb the hill to see the view, and that is unfortunately our Rainmaker Museum game. Very open map in the center. The fish is there, I guess. It's not about the fish. It's about the museum and the artifacts, apparently.
Mm-hmm. And I'm very sorry. I got nothing. I just woke up before this block, so.
So did I. Listen, it's open. Chargers like it. What else is there to say? Oh shucks, there's like 3 backlines. Oh shucks, what?
Oh gee, we'll be fine.
Oh,
we'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, we'll be fine. But oh, sorry. Oh
like
god.
We're only running. Oh dear, that's a lot of gals on my screen. That we've got double gal for Paris Song, as well as the Snipe Rider and the Blaster. And the Snipe Rider's already on the far right side. They're not even opting for the pop. They're just immediately going for some kind of like pick or something. And so far it's working out fairly well. They've got a lot of map control. They do end up going 2 players down. 3 players down is just the Inkvac. And I mean, now Hello Bro they just get a free checkpoint just off of that. The play didn't work out, but I mean, if it does, you probably get like 60 points.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Paris Song started pretty risky and definitely took the risk and suffered the consequences for it, as Hello Bro is moving forward with such speed, but they are going to be facing their own consequences, as it's just Miner, not Miner, left on the field. A beautiful wipeout, and Paris Song has the ability to move forward with the same speed that Hello Bro showed them, having that cooler active, having another special ready here on this Blaster, so I think it's going to be handy, and not handy anymore for getting the checkpoint.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be back immediately, though, thanks to that tactical, or the Rainmaker does end up going down, though. And now Phoenix is kind of all by their lonesome. The splashdown comes out, but it's not going to find anything. Spec, on the other hand, is able to find one, looking for just a little bit more on that Stamper, trying to find the 96 gal, but that one's able to back off for just all, as much as they need on that spinner. And Hello Bro, they're looking to extend their lead. They're already up 50 points, but they want a little bit more, have to wait out this Inkvac, and they do so pretty successfully here. Spec is able to just hold these drops. Phoenix does end up dropping to fight, force the jump out, but the vac comes through for Hello Bro. And I mean, now they've got themselves a little opportunity if Phoenix doesn't pop that splash down and get 3 with it. Oh my goodness.
Just when you think Paris Song is a little too close together, Hello Bro found themselves in the same exact situation that got them all wiped out. This checkpoint is practically guaranteed for Paris Song, as now both teams are going to have both checkpoints, and it's so basically a free-for-all from this point, as long as Paris Song can keep their advantage here, which is looking to fade little by little, especially with those strikes from Miner coming out and taking some extra picks while they are at it too, making that almost a second one, but that is going to be a successful retake from Hello Bro. Nothing that we have not seen before, but it's just a matter of getting that Rainmaker forward before Paris Song can even get themselves forward, in which they do.
Really solid push, not quite getting the lead though. They're only 1 point away. That Inkvac is going to lead to the immediate pop. Spec isn't able to find the melee, and they might just get the KO here, Fufu. The 96 just rushes it in, dunks while the respawns are coming through. Paris Song looked a little dicey at the very start, but I mean, if you can play like that, why not just take the extra risk at the beginning?
I think I genuinely blinked and it was in the pedestal. What just happened? Something just happened. This is what happens when you turn away from the rain. No matter the advantage, no matter anything, it can all end in the matter of 5 seconds. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And it just looked like Hello Bro kind of got staggered as soon as that checkpoint was broken, and they just weren't able to recover. They were scrambling and just not able to find anything from between Phoenix's splashdown and then I believe that is that Zekrom on the 96? I think so. Whoever's on the 96 just immediately making a mad dash with the cooler. They just weren't able to keep up because the pencil was the one that respawned and immediately tried to contest. And unfortunately, tap shots when somebody's on the Rainmaker pedestal, not the easiest thing to hit in the world.
Definitely not. Such an unfortunate fate for Hello Bro, but I hope their mental isn't too shot after that one. As we're going to a little bit more of an even match, I would assume so. Tower control Hagglefish Market. Pretty solid one, if you ask me. I think there's something for everyone on this map and our very, very OG hallway map.
Yep, this is one of the initial competitive maps. We've been playing this for as long as Splatoon 3 has come out, really, and I mean, you can probably see why. It's just pretty even, pretty just straightforwards and basic in understanding just how the map flows. That first checkpoint can be a little bit tough to contest, but at the same time, you still have avenues to do so, and I'm pretty sure with the ink vac, it's going to be much easier to just try and get somebody onto that first checkpoint, just try and get them to take back. Very curious to see how it plays out, if we even see the ink vacs. This is one of those maps, one of those map modes where I'm like, maybe not, I don't know. I don't know what these players are thinking, but I have to imagine that, you know, 96 is just so strong right now that they might end up picking it here.
Yeah, I can only see the back being at its most useful towards like the very end of potential knockout territory, because I feel like a lot of those ledges make it a little bit more difficult to use it, especially if you have to face upwards during it, and it's easy to get dropped on. So curious about that.
Oh wow.
Nozzle nose? Excuse me?
Sure.
Mod?
You know, I see the vision. I understand it. You know, you have the jetpack, which is really solid as just a playmaking special. Permitted, you can avoid everything that can kill you, which is a lot of stuff in Parasong's or in Hello Bro's comp. And then the Zimmy is just so strong on tower control for this reason exactly. You have a big bubbler, you can immediately, oh wow, there he goes to the jetpack. And you can immediately just pop the bubble and run around the tower and just do so much while riding it. You also free up your sniper rider just position wherever they want that isn't on the tower, and that's going to give Hello Bro an early fight win and an early first checkpoint here.
No, absolutely. Starting off incredibly strong on Hello Bro. Parasong able to clear that window relatively quickly, or thought to clear the window really quickly. There we go. It is going to be 2 players down on Hello Bro. 3 players down. That bubble is seeing no value anymore as they're forced way out here. Parasong able to get a pretty solid retake here. But Hello Bro is back in center, trying to make waves of their own once more. I do love how Miner is just not afraid to take that space out. Now I get a little bit scared here, but now that they're paired up, should hopefully be seeing some waves of their own soon after these whales are over.
Yeah, they've got still a little bit of space in mid, but with Phoenix on that right-hand side doing a lot of damage. Spec tries to drop, is not able to find anything. Neither is Miner, and that's 4 players down on the side of Hello Bro, and now Parasong, they have an opportunity to punch back. Phoenix has the splashdown ready and just is in such an annoying space. Or that's a big bubbler. Has the big bubbler ready and is just in such a tough space to kind of deal with that. There's the bubble pop. Another player down. That's your sniper rider too. That's all your range gone. There's Phoenix immediately going, just finding all the people on the right-hand side. Finds one. Gets a little bit of chip onto the second. They're both tagged, but nobody's able to quite find the picks. The jetpack doesn't end up going down, and they get the lead as soon as the recall happens, but how much more can they get out of this Fufu? It doesn't look like much, as Felty is in a bit of a tougher spot, able to find one. Miner pops the strikes, and somehow Felty's alive? Are you kidding me?
That is insane livability there. That you should not be able to survive for that long, but Parasong does get wiped out, but not before leaving a massive dent here. That is 20 points remaining for Parasong. They move forward with such speed. I feel like once they're able to get their jaws into Hello Bro, they're able to cause massive damage, and Hello Bro now has all those specials online, and they have to find a way to strike back. Again, having just basically one more checkpoint to go until they can reach that lead, but it's just a matter of staying stable enough for it, because as Parasong continues to move forward. They are getting pretty aggressive in the way that they do things. And while we have seen Hello Bro be pretty stable in their previous match, it's just a matter of how long until that stability starts to crack. And I feel like we're starting to see some of that, but they are able to still move forward here. Seeing Bocchi on the tower, able to keep things alive. Surprisingly, even against two players, that is going to be a pretty net positive. Still one player remains for Pearsong on that tower, but I feel like as a whole, Hello Bro is a little bit behind.
Absolutely. I mean, they have a checkpoint to get through still, and that is one of the tougher checkpoints to get through on this map. You're not able to snowball quite as much. The tower's in a very vulnerable position, but as soon as Miner is able to find two, and I think Ryu got a third there on the Zinc Mini Splatling, they're just able to immediately snowball that into an advantage. They're on the KO and the third checkpoint, and I mean, now with the big bubbler up, and with Miner finding another trade, this is entirely doable. This is in the realm of possibility. Spec and Ryu immediately swing for that right-hand side fight onto Phoenix, but as we say that, the 52 gal is able to find one, Snipe Rider is able to clean up the second, and now, I mean, another solid defense from Pearsong. Hello Bro just aren't able to find what they were able to in the previous set.
No, I have to agree more, and I feel like Pearsong's confidence continues to skyrocket as the clock continues to tick down. I mean, look how ballsy they are with these picks here, especially on that Jet. You know, I was side-eyeing the Nozzle Nose pick, but it really is just working out as they find themselves on the opposing half of the map once more. Hello Bro really has to collect themselves within the next 50 seconds if they want another chance at potentially taking this match, but they are losing some players in the process and continue to go down on each side. They find themselves on the staggering and then getting a taste of their own medicine as the bubbler makes its way onto the tower. Pearsong is looking at those last 15 ticks that could get them the knockout, and they have zero intention of stopping. And as the tower moves, the whistle blows, and with the wipeout at the end of it, Pearsong takes the second match.
What a sequence from Pearsong. Immediately from a little bit of a scramble on that second checkpoint, but able to clean it up, finding a couple of picks, and just keeping that stagger going. Again, they're really punishing Hello Bro for not quite being on the same page, not quite playing as a four-player unit as much. We saw the immediate pick onto, I believe it was Ryu or the 52, one of the shooter players. And off of that, just Pearsong were able to snowball that advantage, constantly find picks. Mar went down to Felty in the pen duel as well, around that first checkpoint on the final push. And that was curtains at that point, because nobody was able to kind of stabilize the rest of Hello Bro. And wow, what a dominant performance towards the end from Pearsong.
Yeah, it feels like Hello Bro did not catch, sorry, they did have a beautiful performance on Pearsong. They have a much more aggressive style of play. They move forward a lot quicker than Hello Bro did, and I think that's what kind of led to that staggering. They were able to just be like, oh, well, if we give them range, they're going to shoot us, so what if I just get close and shoot them instead? That mentality, and I think it's definitely starting to work a lot more as the games continue on. But we're going to go shopping! We're going to Barnacle and Dime on Clamlet. I like this map, I like the aesthetics. Who doesn't want to be in the fountain?
Exactly, and I mean, we're going shopping, and we're taking a look at the economy, the clam economy at that. It's going to be a pretty tough thing for both these teams to deal with. Hello Bro had a really solid clams game on Scorch Gorge in the previous set. They were able to cycle a lot of the pods really well. But Scorch Gorge is like cycling clam pods sort of on easy mode compared to this map. It's much more spread out. It's not quite as easy to kind of get those clam pods and get them all to respawn like at the right times. And so I'm curious to see if they'll be able to do the same thing here. But first things first, they're going to have to find a way to break that heavy splatling Snipe Rider duo. And it's just so tough to deal with on these like maps that lean towards the longer range. And they have some tools, but they just haven't been able to yet.
Yeah, no, it's really just trying to find a way to break, because they have now an iron defense while they're at it. Well, also, they split their offense and defense into pairs, and which can be really good or really difficult here, depending on how Pearsong executes in this, and doing a really good job at holding the fort. Both teams are going down 2 players here, as mid is now a free-for-all, and it seems to sway in Pearsong's favor here. Most players down on Hello Bro finding themselves in the perfect opportunity to potentially get some points in pretty soon, as long as momentum stays up. I mean, look how they move. They're slowly moving forward as a unit, able to take those picks, taking advantage of the chip, and despite missing the ball, there's going to be another one in, and that is 3 down on Hello Bro on top of that. This is big, huge numbers for Pearsong. They have the confidence, they have the momentum, and they are showing it.
I'm so sorry. Does that say 45 points immediately? Like, we just finished the first minute of the game, and Parasong is already down to 45. That's just ridiculous. Just work from them. They got 2 power claims in, and a lot more apparently, and that just gives them so much room to work with, so much more room to kind of go for these more aggressive plays like Felty's going for right now. And it doesn't work out, but now you have the rest of the team, and same thing with this comp. You can go for the aggressive plays on the pencil because you have a heavy that is just living constantly, and you're just not able to really do much about it if you are Hello You have to wait for the rest of your team to get back up, and now that they're up, you finally have an opportunity. Oh, sorry. The rest of the Parasong's up, and your Booyah Bomb gets shredded. Sorry about that, Spec.
All part of the game, unfortunately, but Hello Bro finally looking at an opportunity potentially. It makes me scared to see one player go up so forward, but alas, you do what you gotta do if it means you get some points. But Parasong, oh, back of the loop. Excuse me, I mixed the teams up, but that's Parasong putting more plants into the basket. Hello Bro, not even a breath of fresh air as they are drowning at this point in Parasong's offense. I am nervous for them.
It is going to be a tough game to come back from. I mean, they're down 75 points. You got the only, I guess, shining bright spot that Hello Bro have to go with is that you still have 2.5 minutes on the clock here. You've got some opportunities, but at the same time, you haven't cleared the 52. Now you eventually have. You've just barely gotten out of spawn at this point, and Parasong still have all the space in the world to kind of work with. The strikes are able to split the 2 pairs into that front line and back line pair, and that's the front line is ending up going down. Felty is not long for this world either, and this might be a full wipeout for Parasong here. Hello Bro, they're able to answer, and now they've got just a little bit of space to work with. They've got some solace in the fact that they can maybe set up a push, but they just don't have that many clams right now.
Yeah, and this gives enough time for Parasong to fight back pretty much. It's like, oh, you guys cannot push more forward without risking yourselves, so we might as well go forward ourselves, and we are seeing that play out. Not even a clam into the basket despite the attempts, and with the jump in from Hello Bro, it's just the players just shoving themselves forward trying to make something happen, and they're not really getting much out of it. Quite a sad sight for Hello Bro as Parasong is able to keep themselves strong on this defense, moving even more forward, and unfortunately that Master's going down. I believe that is Phoenix going down, but Hello Bro, as I'm saying, that actually might see an opportunity for themselves. They are seeing an increase in clam economy. They can put it together. They should be able to make a clam soon, but that focus on kills, I think, is going to spell their doom. Still
no way.
Not able to get a push. This is tough as Parasong continues that lead heavily in their favor.
Yeah, and I mean, they didn't have any front line to follow up with minor strikes there, and unfortunately, you know, when you have multiple players stacking, what's really good there? A bucket, an ultra stamp, burst bombs even. Unfortunately, they just didn't have any of that alive, just constantly getting traded out by Parasong. And now Parasong's got another opportunity here. Ryu ends up going down. Spec is very low, gets picked off by Phoenix, who finds the second one on Tamar. And now we've got almost enough clams for another ball. There's the heavy just immediately popping that. And now the 52 gal and the blaster are just living, taking all the attention away from the backlines who can cycle the clams as much as they need. Felty's almost got another pick, and now the heavy, they've got enough to KO here with just these 2 sets of 3, and there it is. Parasong punching their tickets to the grand finals. Just, I can't believe we got those 3 games all just happened. That was just pure and utter dominance from our seed 1.
I think they set the theme from that first match of how everything else was gonna go, and goodness gracious did they moved in with such aggressive, they moved in as a whole, and I feel like at some point they just broke apart the stability that Hello Bro had when they initially came in. I feel like it's also a mental thing. Like, I felt like I know the feelings that Hello Bro has, like when you're in a position like that, and it's not pretty. But Parasong, again, 3 turns and there goes your opponent. That's all it takes.
Yeah, I mean, it only took 3 games for them to drop Hello Bro to that lower bracket. Very, very solid performance from them. I'm excited to see them in the grand final, but we've got one heck of a losers bracket to get through before that. I believe we are waiting on either losers semis or losers finals. We're going to commentate one of those up next, but that's going to be after a quick break.
Splatoon Stronghold, a stronghold for competitive Splatoon, providing resources to long-timers and newcomers alike. If you're new to the competitive scene or still figuring out how to join, we have a getting started guide and plenty of other resources to help you in your journey. If you are a seasoned veteran, we still have plenty to offer. You can find and join tournaments as well as participate in our Captain Forum and find free agents and teams. Our mission is to make competitive Splatoon easily accessible to everyone. So what are you waiting for? Join the Splatoon Stronghold today!
Welcome back to Paddling Pool 379, everybody. I'm Sig Dakari. Joining me on the mic is the fantastic Fufu, and we've got your losers semis up next. We've got Dragonclaw versus Deutschland for a banger of a set. And Fufu, how are you doing so far?
I'm doing great. Cannot wait to see a little bit more Splatoon here. And I think you guys have noticed that we have swapped over to a best of 3 as the stakes get higher, as this is one loss away from getting eliminated from the tournament. But we are going to be starting on the iconic Hagglefish zones. We were just talking about zones not too long ago, and it's come back to haunt us. But this is an absolute competitive staple, a map that every player competitively should know its ins and outs.
Yep, and we've got Deutschland, which is a pickup of 3 members of Blanks, the team that has kind of been in and around Paddling Pool for years at this point, and Mako, and then Dragonclaw, who we just saw on stream in the first set of today. I mean, Shiva on that team is already taking so much space with that 52 gal, already up, giving Sam an early crab spot as well, just to get that early cap for Dragonclaw, and now they've got a good amount of space to work with, a ton of real estate. 2 members of Deutschland are both flanking, though. One already gets a pick, trades out, though, on the other side, and they're still able to capitalize really well as Kool-Ace ends up going down. Same thing with Mirage, and it's just Shiva left on the respawn.
Deutschland coming in with a good chunk of points and finding themselves in the advantageous position that everyone wants to be on when they are starting up here on Hagglefish. But it's going to be Dragonclaw trying to bring their players forward. I do see Fine China there with that hammer, looking for a second, not quite finding it, but bringing some extra chip to the field as the cooler makes its way for the rest of their teammates. Just trying to drag that attention, trying to cause a little bit more distraction as they move it to center and cause a couple picks to go out here. That's 2 down on Deutschland, bringing Dragonclaw to that advantage state. It's just Halbna here, just trying to keep the fort open with that Hydra, not finding it, and Dragonclaw gets the zone forward and is moving a lot faster and potentially further here than Deutschland did on their hold.
Yeah, and I mean, immediately we see specials coming through just to force Deutschland even further back. Dragonclaw has a lot in their favor, and Pyro does have that has that big bubbler at the ready, and they're going to pop it on the glass just to try and get a little bit more of a foothold here. Shiva's trying to rotate to find a pick, does trade out onto the blaster, and Mako ends up going down here. The strikes come through though, but it's not going to be enough for the cap. Dragonclaw, as long as they can paint over the blaster, which they do, they get that lead. The splashdown comes through, and it's enough to flip and find a pick on the Shiva, but still, I mean, that's just not enough space. That's not sustainable for Deutschland here.
No, not at all, especially when Dragonclaw is still very well holding that zone for it. You see Mako bringing those strikes here on the field, trying to cause a little bit of neutral, give a little bit more space to their teammates, but it falls flat as 2 of their teammates do find themselves at the respawn. Dragonclaw keeping that advantage stable, and although they do have those penalty points to get through, as long as they continue to hold this, and I do love this crowd from Sam to really enforce that on top of it, they will be seeing those penalty points bye-bye pretty soon within the next couple seconds. But again, nothing crazy happening from Deutschland. They aren't really able to find a way out, able to get a trade at most here, but nothing too crazy until now.
Ooh, and Sam just getting picked off there, getting a little bit too aggressive. Now Deutschland have an opportunity. The strikes come through. The Hydra and the Zap are painting the zone as much as they can. But do they know about this blaster flank just sitting on this bottom left-hand side? There's 3 players swinging. There's 1 down, looking for the second, not quite able to get it. But that is enough of a scare that Dragonclaw can capitalize off of. They get the zone cap back. They apply that penalty again. Multi ends up going down here. And while the blaster does end up finding a pick, there's not much that Deutschland can really do until the rest of the team gets back. They're a little bit staggered right now. They have a flank, but Mako ends up dropping, and Dragonclaw immediately turned that flank on its head with 3 players in the advantage, and it's just the Hydron zone. Not long for this world, and Dragonclaw, again, they're back to their hold.
Takes a Luna Blaster and a Dream to get to this position. Apparently gets a penalty point. Need to get out of the way for Dragonclaw. Again, a little bit of an early grab, I would even argue here, but 2 players do go down for Dragonclaw. Just really trying to keep this hold alive. If you are here in green, and Sam trying to take a losing battle, unfortunately, but able to get a trade out of it at least, as the rest of Dragonclaw stabilizes themselves to try and keep this neutralized, and take those. Ooh, Chiba almost had that. Chiba almost had that pick on the Hydra. It was right there, but Dragonclaw keeping their heads above the water. Able to cap the zone once more and hopefully move a little forward here.
Yeah, Dragonclaw, they do get the cap, but Deutschland, they're still holding just behind zone, trying to stabilize again. The Hydra is back up on the glass, and this is kind of where Hydra just likes to do work. It's a little awkward on most other parts of the map, unless it can get set up in that big bubble, which they pop in the zone. The Slosher does end up going down here, and Luna is close, just making life so difficult for that Hydra. It's just not able to move forwards at all, and that gives Dragonclaw such a massive advantage here. The Crab Tank from Sam comes through, and that's a good amount of chip. Benny does have to jump out, though, and now with Mako going down here from the Crab, that's what we're talking about, and so much chip from the Luna Blaster's Ultra Stamp is able to find one more, make that a third, and there's the jump in being camped. It's just Benny left on this Blaster against Mirage, and Mirage is trying to tap him down, but immediately tries to swing, and Benny's ready for it. That gives Deutschland another opportunity to cap here, but they have to hold for the rest of this game, Fufu.
Yeah, this is where I get nervous with Dragonclaws. There's a lot of pink on the floor, but losing your Hydra is not the thing that you want happening here on Deutschland, as their players are now in danger with 2 sets of whales going directly their way. If you ask me, Sig, that is going to be whistles. There's no way out. It takes us a little... No, there's a way out. I thought that was just enough pain for Dragonclaw to potentially get it, but no, Deutschland is still holding on, just trying to keep this overtime alive, but enough neutral won't be enough to keep Dragonclaw in it. And just as the green is coming into contest, the pink on the field, that takes a splash up from Benji, trying to make that
There's no way.
slowly but surely.
There's no way. Oh my god. There's
just by the skin.
I don't have words for that. What do you mean you can just hold like that? Deutschland just clutching up at the very end, the splashdown to keep that cap. Dragonclaw has so much paint, and by some miracle, Deutschland are able to win that with... I don't even know how, because like the Hydra didn't even do much. It just got up onto the top left and didn't die to the Luna, which like, congrats on boxing out the Luna. I guess if the Luna doesn't get in, Deutschland win, and that's exactly what happens. But anyways... We're going to Rainmaker on Scorch now.
Before we go to Rainmaker, I need to know if you saw what I saw. They were genuinely like maybe a sprinkle of paint away from capping the zone.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it was the splash on the right. And I was like, oh, it was right there. And I'm like, do they know?
Dude.
Do they know? It's so crazy how close Dragonclaw was to it. It's almost sad. But Deutschland is coming in from the comeback of the century, and they're gonna bring that momentum now into Rainmaker Scorch Sig.
Yeah, and this is where I have to call into question the Hydra pick just a little bit more. It's a little bit of a cook on Hagglefish just because you have positions to work with, but on Rainmaker specifically, this is where the super heavy weighting of the weapon, the lack of swim speed that you can run on it as well, it gives me a lot of question marks going into game 2 here. And I don't really know what the plan is for Deutschland, what Pyro is going to switch to going into game 2, but I believe we're getting a rehost in really quickly just to make sure everything is going well. And yeah, I dude that
Dude.
game.
Yeah, no, that I'm a little bit in shock about that still. Oh wow.
I got nothing.
What are words? What are words again? You're talking about the Hydra, and I think they may switch this thing a little more mobile. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a heavy. I feel like I haven't seen a heavy edit in ages. That feels like eons ago. That heavy edits were a thing. But the regular heavy, we may be able to see a little bit of like a little sneak peek of, hopefully. I think that'd be a much better pick for the much more mobile Rainmaker.
Yeah, and honestly, Golde, let's just say, isn't known for their zap. Golde is like one of the premier Tetra 1 tricks in Europe. And we're just going to start up the Wordle right here real quick. Fufu, what do you think is a good starting word?
Plain. Not that plain. Oh, you're throwing. You're throwing. You're already throwing, Jarian.
Can't believe this. We're getting griefed by our streamer.
Oh my god. Hey, what's your next word? What's your next word, Sig?
I'm trying to think of a good word here.
Slogs? You put the L exactly where like it was. Oh my god. I'm being mean. I'm so sorry.
We're being rage baited. We're being rage baited by our streamer at this point.
Oh, I pissed our streamer off. Oh no.
Please, Ryan, we'll be good.
We'll be good.
We'll be nice. Yippee. Okay. Bounce is not a word, unfortunately, unless you're in Bleach. I feel like Troll could be a good one. Oh no, because the O is. Never mind.
Yeah. Can we do? No, Trout is a little too trouty. Brown.
Maybe just to get some letters out of the way.
The O, yeah. No, but like the O is in the same spot.
Anyways, we're going to game 2.
We're going to game 2.
We'll figure out Wordle later.
Oh goodness! Again, very short range comp here coming out from I believe. Help me out.
Both of them, but Deutschland has the heavy edit that you were talking about earlier.
Oh, it's happening! It's actually happening. We're bringing the heavy edit out to the field. I am quite surprised, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the weapons that Pyro has really made a name for himself on. Especially with blanks. It just provides a little bit of aggression, a lot of paint and stability as well for Blanksy, and now it's looking to do the same for Deutschland, and already finding one pick, is able to live the crab tank for a little bit, but immediately being pinched, provides the jumps, and Shiva's not able to find both of those, only able to find Pyro, and that gives Deutschland a little bit of a push, a bit of a push. They're looking for that checkpoint, and Multi's already looking for a lot of space here, has the crab tank ready, and Cool Ace is just barely not able to get that Rainmaker carrier before they break the checkpoint. Now Chiva's on the flank, and are Deutschland aware of this? They are, just not able to stop it just yet. Mako's able to find the trade. Benny just runs forward with that Rainmaker down to 32 points, Fufu, and with a minute already having gone by, that is a very strong opening push.
Yeah, no, that is ridiculous there from Dragonclaw, really pushing that forward comparison to last match right here, really just showing that strength. It's like, hey, this is a little bit more familiar for us. We can do some pretty crazy stuff here on Rainmaker and just breaking that little bit of stability. With that being said, Deutschland is here to fight back as they are moving way here towards the first checkpoint. Fine China on this Luna is always looking for some sort of battle. I mean, look at this. It's called playing your corners, I guess. Leading the path to the rest of their team to potentially get this first checkpoint up and out of the way. That was 2 down on Dragonclaw, and just a little bit of patience here can go a long way as Shiva is using that Rainmaker to collect those picks as the rest of the team moves forward in front of the pedestal, and that should be the first checkpoint. Question mark? Should be... Question mark?
Oh, no,
should not be the first checkpoint. Apparently, losing that opportunity, Shiva is going to be sent to the respawn point as Dragonclaw makes their way forward and is able to retake hopefully a little bit here.
Yep, looks like Pyro's just going to opt to run the Rainmaker all the way back. This isn't Rainmaker free? There we go. There's the note retreat. All the way over to the bottom right-hand side. Just try and maybe get picked off, stall it just a little bit longer. You have a very solid lead here if you are Deutschland, so you can afford to kind of just chill out and just ice out the rest of Dragonclaw and just play for your win condition of getting a Shark up for any of your front lines. Maybe Multi, maybe Benny, maybe Mako, just any of them, and just try and prevent Dragonclaw from getting anything going. But Sam's trying to get something going here with this crab tank. Nobody's able to pop the rain shield still, but if you can get a lot of space on this right hand side, that's the first step into clearing that rain shield. Looks like Kool Ace already found 2, looking for that third. They're gonna toss the ultra stamp towards Pyro. It's not gonna find anything, but nobody knows where the 4th is. Nobody knows where Multi is, and they find that pick onto the Rainmaker, just sharking it out. Pyro's able to find the little bit of the defense there, and I mean, Deutschland, they're back to where they started with a wipeout here, Fufu.
Dragonclaw is playing nasty as to where that Rainmaker is. That is almost disgusting, one could say, but it is part of the game, and Deutschland is having a little trouble getting it out of there as they are also losing half their players in the process. I mean, they don't even care about the Rainmaker. They're leaving it in the pit to just do its own thing as they are just opting to play team deathmatch in the front lines in Deutschland's base, and this is such a difficult position for Dragonclaw, excuse me, a mix of teams. Dragonclaw is in such a difficult position that Deutschland is just pushing everything forward without giving them an opportunity to escape their base.
Yeah, no, they've got no space to work with. Kool Ace ends up going down here. Shiva is able to find a trade, maybe 2. There's Benny going down, and there's Multi as well. It's just Halmna left standing, and they're able to back up just a little bit, but Shiva's chasing them down still, and is eventually going to be picked off for it. But, I mean, you've given Dragonclaw so much space, and the trade comes through onto Benny. Kool-Ace does drop to the splashdown, but, I mean, you're in a lot better of a spot than you were just even 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, I'm still shocked that the Rainmaker is in the position that it is in this. It seems like Dragonclaw doesn't have the highest priority on popping it anymore, with Deutschland literally pushing in front of them, being like, hey, we're here. You should fight us instead. That Rainmaker has been there for the last 2 or so minutes, Sig. That is horrendous.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of one of the problems with Scorch Gorge. If you get too far behind, you're you're a victim to just this happening to you if you can't get that first checkpoint immediately broken and kind of maintain the lead from there and start snowballing. You might just end up getting stalled out for 4 minutes straight, and unfortunately for Dragonclaw, I mean, this looks to be how their tourney is about to end. They're able to get the pick up, but now they've got to break the checkpoint. They've got to find enough picks and win the fight to run all the way down to 31 points, and it just looks like it's not possible. They're opting for this left checkpoint, just taking advantage of their range, but the strikes come through just to force everybody back. Helma's able to run to the Rainmaker and just immediately pick it up. Dragonclaw, they're being sent home packing, and they didn't even get much of a say in this one.
I am getting flashbacks to Riptide. This is what's happening. I'm getting flashbacks to Riptide ×2. Deutschland really just played all their cards on the board and did what they had to do. You cannot blame them for doing a strat that works incredibly well, and they push it to the limit there. Dragonclaw is such an unfortunate way to go out there and end your run, but Deutschland just played that. Oh my goodness.
Very well executed from Deutschland there. We got, okay, we're already up. We did it with, okay. I like the lobby pick. Are there any other words it could be?
Do lobby, lock it in.
I will say I've already done the Wordle, so I can't help too much, but
do the lobby.
Lobby could work. I'm just trying to find, we've already knocked out a lot of letters here.
Look at the L staircase. You know what? Do it. Send it, Jorian. Send us to our doom.
It was Lori.
Lori.
Yeah, like a truck.
Dang. Lori. I would never have guessed Lori.
Yeah, it's one of the big trucks, like a semi.
I'm not southern enough for this.
That's not. I don't think that's a southern thing. I think it's more of a British thing.
A British thing?
More than anything. Yeah, I remember hearing it on Top Gear growing up.
Oh my.
Yeah. But anyways, we're going to Losers Finals. We've got Hello Bro back from their Winners Finals bout versus Deutschland, and we're back in the building. We are back on Hacklefish Zone.
We're back on Hagglefish Zones. We're never going to escape the Hagglefish Zones ever in our lifetime of Splatoon 3. That'll be our prime starting. Are we starting the scrim or are we starting a tournament set? We never know.
I don't know. It honestly could be either. So
good answer. Honestly, I have a hard time putting my chips in one basket for either of these two teams. I feel like I'm just gonna sit in the back lines and kind of watch what happens.
Mm-hmm. But we'll figure out. I'm very curious to see if Deutschland's aggression here will work into Hello Bro. The ink vac will definitely be a thorn in their side for a while, as well as Spec just kind of being able to shut anything down with the sword. Bro kind of turned into Thanos in the Winners Final set and was doing his best in the Winners Semis and was doing his best in Winners Finals. I'm curious to see if it'll happen again here in Losers Finals. But we're back to BO5s.
Yeah, we're back in the building, back on our BO5s. The watcher and me really want to see a really close set here. Again, I also want to see Hello Bro almost return to their like stable cells that we saw in like that first match that we saw, or the first set we saw. I really want to see that again. So I'm having a little bit of high hopes there. But Deutschland also did. I'm still not over last set. That was something. That was genuinely something.
From the nail biter of game 1 to whatever happened in game 2, just immediately stalling for 4 minutes. Just That was honestly impressive. I can't believe we try and we were able to switch modes like that. That was crazy.
They were playing team deathmatch in the front lines.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't think I've seen that in a cast ever like that.
It is honestly impressive, but
Very
we're gonna see that
impressive.
flexibility be tested as well, just in the opposite direction of how they can deal with. Again, that ink fact might be really difficult depending on what weapons they end up picking here, and they don't have that many options except for Mako's tri-strikes to deal with it. I'm a little bit concerned for them going into this, but we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, we gotta see. We can theorize all we want, but in practice, maybe a different story. I don't think I'm.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We'll figure it out. They're somewhere.
Yeah,
I miss Wordle.
This Wordle, man.
I miss my wife, Tails. I miss her a lot. I'll be back.
I can't believe this. That was when I woke up this morning. I'm like, I've got like 2 minutes before I have to be in call for for the what's it called?
Summoned.
Before I'm summoned for battling pool, and I'm like, I can do the Wordle. The Wordle is not
You
kind.
out-Wordled us. I haven't done Wordle in a while. Like, that's on me. I haven't been keeping up with my daily Wordle. I woke up like 30 minutes before my alarm, and I was so pissed.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I know it's paddling day, but also let me sleep.
Need that rest.
Yeah.
Need to be ready for Raiders, man.
I will be playing some Raiders tomorrow, a little bit. Just a little bit. I got half an hour before the rabbit with the timer starts ticking. You know, like the
yeah.
You know what image I'm talking about? What is happening?
I think so. The rabbit, just the meme of the rabbit pointing at the clock.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And Umu update today too.
Oh yeah, this is true. Pretty big update too. I'm very, very curious.
Oh, massive update. You gotta hop on. We gotta hop on.
I have to. I haven't played in a while, but we've got everybody in the lobby now for Hello Bro versus Deutschland. We are ready to go, just waiting on everyone to ready up. Just a reminder, we are back to best of 5s for losers finals, and we're back to haggle zones. I'm curious to see how this plays out. I assume Hello Bro will be playing their, what was it, Stamper Bucket 96 pen against what we saw from Deutschland. I'm curious to see.
Who do you think is gonna change? Question mark? I doubt it. It might just be the same comments that we've been seeing from both of these teams. I can't even lie to you. I think it's just, don't fix it if it ain't broke. I mean, they pretty much played the same comp throughout both of the two games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, basically the same thing. There were only minor switches. Pyro went from the Hydra to the Edit, and then the Zap switched to a Dual Beat for Gold A. It looks like we're running back the Hydra again. Yeah.
A good chunk of paint on the comp. I do like the mini from, I believe that is Ryu, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I'm a big fan of mini still. I do like that bubble, and I think it'll just give a little bit more space to the rest of the team. And of course, you have got heavy painters on the side of Deutschland between that Zap and Hydra. So could be just about anyone's game here as we have our endless painting of mid here starting up here, Sick. Oh, that is 3 down on Hello Bro. Good night. That is actually the advantage to Deutschland.
They figured out the Deutschland classic of send 2 on one side of the map and just hope they get 3, and they got 3! It's working pretty well so far. Miner's pretty low on the hold already. Deutschland, they have a pretty solid hold. Pyro's already walking up with a big bubbler. This is a ballsy Hydra position, if I do say so. Ends up having to back off and get shredded, but we're already down to 60 points. Pretty solid early hold, and now you have tri-strikes ready as well to stall. The big bubbler won't be able to do much. The strikes come through for Hello Bro. Same thing with the Booyah Bomb, but nothing's able to contest that zone. And with Mako just swinging over on that left-hand side, able to find a pick with the rest of the team trading out with the Zimmy as well as Ryu. And it's just Spec left on a sliver of HP. And Hello Bro, they're in a lot of trouble here, Fufu.
A lot of trouble. They are able to cut 2 down here on Deutschland, so they have the potential of getting the zone here. Just enough paint there, able to apply heavy penalty points onto Deutschland, and they had a massive hold. I mean, 18 points left here on that first cap of the zone is ridiculous here. And Deutschland really trying to get some players to take some picks off, but they are going to be losing two of their own. Benny in the back lines here for some reason, and Multi's really trying to keep up right here, but there is some staggering here from Deutschland as they're just kind of tossing their players forward and not really able to find much out of it, as we are almost to the halfway point of ticks here for Hello Bro. I'm really looking for that stability, really trying to build up their resources to find and meet Deutschland wherever they find them.
Yeah, now they've got 3 specials ready to go, but Penny's able to find 1 pick. There's the Booyah Bomb from Spec. It's going to be trying to be shredded. Already 1 HP, but able to find that trade on the Multi. 2 players down on the side of Deutschland. They're not able to get to that zone, just able to mildly contest it. Probably not able to get that cap. No, not at all, as it's just Pyro left on that Hydra. Spec does end up jumping out just to the rest of the team, get that Tacticooler, but it's looking pretty tough for Hello Bro here, or for Deutschland to get back in. Miner's able to win the bucket 1v1 on Mako, immediately turns to find Multi, and does end up going down here, but so does Benny, and it's just a 2v2 on the zone. The strikes come through from Mako, immediately charging those up. There's the neutralization, just not quite the flip. The big bubbler comes through, same thing with the strikes of Hello Bro's own, and the Booyah Bomb just to even up the splashdown. And Fufu, again, it's looking dire, but this time for Deutschland.
Yeah, Hello Bro found that stability, able to find their footing here, and they are pushing their players forward. I see Miner getting one, looking for a second one, able to get it. I see that aura online. It's just Benny here on the left with Specs, and Specs is going to clean that up spectacularly. And Hello Bro seeing the first match in these loser bracket finals. Beautifully done.
Yeah, really strong comeback for Hello Bro. I mean, it was looking like curtains for a little bit, but they were able to get their specials. They were able to get everything just going their way in terms of picks. And after that, I don't want to say smooth sailing, but it was definitely a lot less stress as soon as they were able to build those specials past mid and start getting, the ball rolling in their favor.
No, absolutely. It's just they felt comfortable in that advantage and just saw it through, is what we like to say here. But we're going to be switching things up heavily as the next map is Rainmaker. Humpback Pump Track. The Humpback's so traumatizing, I almost forgot its name.
Oh, no.
Which is, we've seen this map. You know this map. We hate this map or love it. I don't know. Very entertaining to watch, though. Horrendous to play.
It does not feel right. We as backline players do not appreciate this one, unless I guess you play Wellstring and you like throwing Ultra Stamps everywhere, especially on Rainmaker, but it can get really frustrating, very difficult to kind of find a lot of picks. You kind of just, as the backline, you kind of either have to hope for the best and just play safe for the rest of your team to go crazy, or you're taking some crazy risks a lot of the time, and it's quite difficult. Now, the rest of the team probably having a lot more fun, especially with all this AoE. You have the buckets and the blaster, but it's going to be a rough look here, especially for this early pop.
Yeah, I'm looking at Benny here, who's going to have the time of their life if set up properly. But again, curious on how this is going to open up. I feel like a lot of players do struggle a little bit on this opening here, as mid is quite slow, a little lopsided there. Already big picks here for Hello Bro, and it's going to be quickly evened out by Deutschland. 2 down on Hello Bro, finding themselves actually in the disadvantage here, as Miner's really trying to clean up Mako and looking for potentially another one here as they grab hold of the Rainmaker on the side of Deutschland. Miner's up in the front, but their teammates aren't quite there with them just yet. Both teammates getting sent back to the respawn point, giving Deutschland a really nice opportunity to potentially move forward here as we pass these 45 seconds into the match.
And there's Pyro has already moved over to the far right side. I'm curious to see what the Rainmaker timer is on that. If there was a no retreat zone cross there, looks like 25 seconds. Looks like it. Not quite able to get that checkpoint as everybody from Hello Bro is here contesting, and nobody from Deutschland is quite swinging just yet. There's the splashdown coming through. That gives the space for that checkpoint to be broken, and Mako's able to find a pick onto Miner. There's the trade onto Rayu as well. 2v2 for Deutschland, and they've got a big bubbler set up here. Spec ends up dropping. As long as Pyro can stay healthy and the jumps come through, this could be an even stronger push for Deutschland here, especially as the bubbler gets shredded.
absolutely. Especially when you have a Hydra potentially scaring all of you guys down. I see those auto bombs making their way through to try and counter that. And especially those strikes. But 2 down for Hellebro. They're finding themselves in troubled waters, as that is pretty much almost all the players of Doucheland alive here. And a wipeout to make it worse here. Doucheland finds that opportunity to move the Rainmaker forward. And before they do, 15 points remaining for them. What an excellent push right here. And it doesn't seem like things are done. I do see Benny here in this corner, just really looking for a pick. I see you. I see what you're gonna do.
They know? They don't know. Oh my god. These blaster sharks and flanks on the corners. I mean, we saw it on Haggle game 1 in the previous set, and then Benny doing it again. They're just game breaking for these teams. You need to be able to clear these. It is so imperative that you don't let just a single speck of paint go unchecked. And this is exactly why, and unfortunately, hello, bro, they were just trying to scramble for the fight. Nobody cleared Benny on that left-hand side, and, I mean, bro just got the KO for it. I mean, what more can we say?
This is the second time this happened to Hello Bro in tournament. It happened their last set that we saw.
Oh my god, yeah, it did.
Thing. This is
oh no.
First time it's a mistake, the second time it's we let that one happen.
We fumbled the bag.
Oh, I feel so bad.
Oh, that's tough.
That is genuinely tough that it's happened twice.
Hey, at least they got the first game win, so that way they have a little bit of leeway. They only need to win 2 games, and thankfully it's a best of 5, so that's not immediately putting them on map point either, or series point.
No, yeah, for sure, which is the good thing. I fear for the mentals all, and I hope that they're able to pick themselves up here within this next game. Mako Tower is an interesting one. I think it's a little bit awkward for anchor players because of the range different. Like, you don't have that little box to stand on to give you a little bit more range, which makes me kind of sad. But I don't know. I'm pretty neutral on this one. I have no real way to sway for both of these teams, you know?
Yeah. I'm curious to see what especially what the play is for Deutschland here. Hydra could be an option, just because the big bubbler on tower is so strong. No, we're ending up switching to that heavy edit just for the more mobility and fighting prowess. Hydra might be a little bit too slow for this map. There are a lot of scramble situations that happen, and so I kind of like the switch over. Same thing with multi on the dualies. A little bit more mobility always helps, and against when spacing matters so much against a player like Spec, I like the switch up as well.
Yeah, it's also getting that cooler concentrator on one player, giving opportunity for the crab. So I really do like that crab switch as well, because there's a good chunk of positions here that are beneficial for crab as well. But as fights start in mid, did Mako run out of ink in that fight? I think Mako ran out of ink out of that fight, but was able to still come out with their life, which is really impressive still. But that tower is going to be potentially moving forward here for Doucheland as they're moving their players forward, but not really taking the objective, as Hello Bro is putting some pushback onto them. But this may be what puts him in some danger here, as Hello Bro is starting to move forward quite slowly for their situation, and they are unfortunately going to suffer the consequences for it, as that is 3 down.
Yeah, I mean, they've got all the space in the world to work with. They've got that first checkpoint as well. The strikes are coming through, so nobody can realistically contest, but Spec drops over to the right-hand side, is able to find one, looking for a little bit more onto Mako, but Spec is very low here. Mako ends up going down here, so does Benny, and Deutschland, they're not able to continue that push for much longer. Multi, though, has a shark on the right-hand side, is found out by Miner, and, I mean, still drawing 2 players over is pretty impressive. Pyro's able to find one more on the other side of the map, and with Multi just still dragging out the fights, it's just Miner left, just constantly getting backstabbed here for the side of Hello Bro, and they're in a pretty tough spot. They're able to get that tower just a little bit pushed up, but still, it's just not enough, not substantial enough to be a major push to be concerned about for Deutschland.
No, absolutely. And they find themselves a bit on the back foot here. That is 1 down on each side. You see Multi with this nice crab here, trying to find some little bit more pressure here onto tower. Not quite finding it the way that they may have expected it. But I feel like this is a very messy match. Like, a lot of the fights are messy. I feel like just nothing is really stable for either team as of now. I mean, we have 2 players here moving on the right side with Doucheland, and both of them pretty low here. And the tower is moving for Doucheland slowly but surely. Some of the turf here in center is turning blue, but nothing solid has really happened for both of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, they've gotten the first check, but on a map like Makeup Mart, you're kind of expected to after a point, and we're already halfway through the game. Nobody's even sniffed the second one, and with Mako going down here, the rest of Hello Bro does too. That's the Penn player forced to jump out, and now we've got maybe a substantial push here going. The Crab Tank already set up. Pyro ends up just jumping forwards, able to find one onto Miner, and does get traded out by Ryu, but the rest of the team does push that tower down to 44 points, make that 42, with Golde just walking forward a smidge more. But now Hello Bro have a bit of a way to get back in here. They're staggering Deutschland pretty well. Benny is sharking out on this left-hand side. Nobody sees. The splashdown comes through to find 2, and there's Pyro again finding another, or not quite finding another pick, but stalling out, forcing Spec into that bottom left, but Spec finds 3, and this is, again, a very difficult situation for Deutschland.
No, yeah, for sure. But it seems they're able to turn the tides just as fast. That was 2 down on Hello Bro, as we saw, and the rest of their players looking and smelling for the other 2 players here. Mako really just trying to get Ryu out, but not able to find that. I do love how Hello Bro's players were able to stay alive there on that left-hand side. But Specs moving forward, trying to go for another 2 players. They only ended up with a trade. I don't know. This still feels very... I feel like we just got into a point of advantage here for Hello Bro. They're able to potentially get some more points on the board. Deutschland is coming back as fast, bringing those strikes to the tower to stall them out as the rest of the players do move in. But again, nothing feels stable from either of these teams. I feel like both teams are scrambling, but Hello Bro finding a wipeout is able to actually find some stability here. And this could be what brings them to that final checkpoint, potentially, Sig.
Oh, maybe Ryu getting a triple there, and even more with Spec on that second checkpoint. They could just fully KO. They're onto that third check, Fufu, and they've got a lot of space. They've got the player advantage as well, but not for very long, as it's just Miner left standing. But I mean, when it's just Miner left and they're in the spawn, still drawing attention, drawing Benny over here, who is already chipped for 30 and has to try and back out. You'll take that. You're stalling for as long as possible. Hello Bro, they have bounced back from game 2. They are looking for just a solid defense. Mako does end up getting picked off, but you have some GG options for Hello Bro. You've got 15 seconds. Just make sure that Spec doesn't get picked off. Make sure Miner maybe gets the strikes if a Spec does go down. And you got yourself another game in the bag. Just 10 left. And Benny's trying to find something, but immediately picked off by Mar. The Booyah Bomb is being held. And Hello Bro, they put themselves on match point to try and make it back to Grand Finals.
Yeah, but no one on that tower here at the end. Beautiful whistle blow. Hello Bro. I think those like 3 picks that they got at the end, that was just what they needed for their stability. I think it was insane how unstable the entire match felt for most of that. Like, yeah, that was ridiculous.
I mean, it feels like anything could happen, and this is kind of how some of the teams play, like how Blanksy and Weichsen Deutschland like to play. They play super aggressive, in your face. If they don't go 4 up, then they're going 4 down, and sometimes that works out for them pretty well, like we saw in Game 2 and the previous set, and sometimes Hello Bro just kind of get that one big push that they're looking for. It is very high-risk gameplay, but I mean, it works out sometimes for them, and they're looking to make it work again on Game 4. It's going to be tough. This is a very long-range focused map of Museum d'Alfonsino. We are back at the museum, and yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm curious to see if we see a major comp switch up from either of these 2 teams. Maybe the Hydra comes back, but we'll see as we load.
The Hydra's coming back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Hydra is going to make its way back onto the field. There's no way with something like Museum, unless they want to prove me wrong. I know Edit is a little bit more tough to... Woo, the Edit's coming out anyways. It seems that they've found a little bit more success having the cooler centralized on their anchor here. Some pretty quick movements from Deutschland. I see Multi here on that right-hand side, trying to find potentially some attention, and attention they do, but are they going to disconnect?
Let's hope not.
Oh, no,
Multi?
it was a replay good.
Are you good, bro? Okay. Oh dear. Maybe this is why they wanted to switch hosts. I don't know. But that's tough.
Very tough.
Pretty rough. We pay $20 a year for this stuff, guys. Yeah!
Woohoo! $20 a year! Oh, God. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but new point of view found, by the way. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen like the squid in front like that.
Bro. They found a new crab angle. That's crazy.
No, I've never seen like the squid form so close to the camera like that. I've seen them like fly up in the air like that, but not that close.
Oh my goodness.
Never seen.
I can't believe that happened.
Just like in front of our eyes. Hey man.
How's it going? It's only for some maps. Oh, I'm assuming the ones with like really wide open sightlines. So like Museum might have it, but maybe not Inkblot. Only for Spec Canvia. Ah.
Because I've seen, like, from a player point of view, like, some of the Inklings go, like, really high up. I remember having to my friend, I was cackling. Flat maps aim down.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Interesting.
I'm honestly kind of shocked that happened. The double DC, too. That is rough. But hey, may as well get 2 out at once so you don't have to play through a 3v4, you know?
Yeah, you know, really. At least it wasn't like halfway through the match because that would have been really bad, especially for Hello Bro. Like,
Yeah.
imagine having our team goes poof and like you have like the lead or something and you're like, oh.
Uh-oh.
Ooh. Like fighting against players of similar caliber. Ooh.
Yeah, it might be curtains at that point. They'd have to. There'd be an immaculate level of throwing if the 2v4s ends up in a win. But I don't think we'd be seeing that from Hello Bro. I mean, these guys are incredibly strong players, and I mean, they're in top 3 for a reason again.
Absolutely couldn't agree more, and hopefully with no DCs this time, both of these teams can fight their way towards middle. This is Clan Blitz Museum Delfoncino. Again, Multi's gone. Good night,
Oh
Multi.
no.
Mods, switch the host.
Oh no, not again. That's so rough. I wonder what the deal is now. Unfortunately, I haven't read through the DC rules as thoroughly as I'd like to on this one.
I think it's as long as they switch hosts, I think they'll be okay. I mean, we went the first 3 matches relatively fine.
Yeah.
So I don't know, something just happened. Someone got DDoSed or something.
I guess.
Multi got blown up to smithereens.
Bro got sent. Wow. I still can't believe that happened.
It's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go. I believe they are going to be switching hosts.
Oh, again.
The way from like, hey, can you guys host? Actually, can we host? We're instant replaying it. Oh, we're in the corner. Look how cute we look.
Oh, the little goobers. I can't believe it. I'm not even looking at the screen. How am I supposed to see Multi doing this?
Oh, that's so funny, dog. This Multi disappearing like that is so funny. I want to see it again. I really want to see that again. Yeah. Let's see it. And there they went.
Oh. That was the immediate DC.
Yeah. I need to see the squid one again. There it is. Look at that. Hey.
How's it going?
Multi using hacks out here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We might need to ban this guy.
We might need to ban this guy. No, we got the zoom in and everything.
Bro, it's...
Here at
Bro is
Padley
just
we're
ready.
the most serious.
How far do you think one dodge roll gets if you're all the way up there? Like, in terms of getting all the way down to the ground.
Probably because, like, even when you fall, it's like, oh, it's just like a smidge away from like.
Rest in peace, Multi. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week, Multi. Oh, I feel like I need this on like the phone. I need a phone photo of just bro exploded. Wait, can we bring the squid back? Can we like?
I need a
GIF
GIF or something of this.
Yeah, no, for real. I need to like. Ugh. It's like they're really. So I don't know if you heard the shutter.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's so funny.
I'm just imagining like a perfectly cut off screen when that happens. Just like a, ah! And that's all you hear.
Proximity chat. Imagine Splatoon proximity chat.
Oh, that'd be...
I
No.
would love that. I can't even lie. Just be like, hey man, what you doing? Can we get the
so
mod?
funny.
I really need to see that happen.
We might need to use some tools to figure that one out. But we're back in the building. Again, for the third time. Hopefully nothing happens.
Hopefully.
Let's fingers crossed.
Like,
please.
I'm scared. We're good.
Looks pretty good so far. Okay, multi is safe so far. Is able to jump out as well. Yeah, I think we're back to where we were. We're playing. Hello, bro. Already has some pretty solid map control here. Already jockeying for position to maybe get a score going. They do have a good amount of clams here. 6 left, but so far multi drops again onto that bottom left hand side, and same thing with Mako, and we've got another brawl just happening. It's really stalling Hello Bro from doing much.
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about this ending up the same way that it did last game here, especially considering the open center here on Museum, but it seems like both teams are really just sending their teammates forward. Bochi, you should not be alive for how long you were, but it is the calling card here for, I believe that is Hello Bro. The colors are swapped at the moment with the change of host, but Hello Bro were finding themselves in the advantageous position, not as much anymore as Dushan was able to push back on that.
Yeah, why is our heavy edit over on the underneath the basket with 7 clams? How did that happen? I'm so confused. Pyro just immediately booked it as soon as they got everybody off the plat. But now Deutschland are paying the price for it. The strikes from Miner onto the plat of Deutschland now. And now we've got a little bit of a tough situation. Not many clams for Deutschland here. Not much space either to work with. And Miner's already found another pick onto Mako. Pretty low HP for the both of them. But they're able to get that score going, and even a little bit more with that big bubbler. And we're already down to 70 points, maybe a little bit more if Mark can jump this power clam in. There it is with the cooler, and we're down to 42.
Yeah, really solid push for Hello Bro here, but it's just Butchie here in center, being the last player alive, while still trying to take picks while they are at it. I have to respect it here. They can take Butchie, not Butchie, that's Butchie, out of the field while they're at it. They're like, if I'm going down, you're coming with me. See ya.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good stuff for Deutschland here, just able to try and clear out a little bit. Still, though, they're not able to get a lot of a foothold in mid, and this is kind of where their comp tends to struggle. Just not much range to contest the Stamper or the Snipe Rider of Hello Bro, but the Splashdown's able to find one of those players as well as the Zimmy. And now we've got a little bit of an opportunity here. The Crab Tank is up and ready to go, but just opting to first get onto plat, just play super aggressive, not give an inch to Hello Bro here, not give any kind of space. There's the score immediately, but how much follow-up is there, Fufu? It doesn't feel like there's all that much.
Yeah, you do see Multi coming up forward and trying to potentially give a jump, but 3 players down on Dush, and there's not really much to do with that here. It really just was a one and go. They pulled a U-turn here, and just went, all right, we're out. And out they went, giving Hello Bro that perfect opportunity to move forward themselves. Specs with that Booyah Bomb here, giving themselves a little bit more to work with. Best is actually the backlines with Multi. I do see that jump available as almost every player down for Hello Bro. Something just happened here. And while Multi was in the backlines, they were able to clear that space. That is 67 points left here for Doucheland as they are going to be potentially getting the lead for themselves if they can put a clam in.
Yeah, they've got some clams to work with, just not a lot for the lead. They weren't even able to take all that space thanks to the Toxic Mist, thanks to all 4 members of the Hello Bro being up, and now they're fighting for it again. They've got a lot. Spec is down. Same thing with the Snipe Rider just being traded out by Mako. It's just Miner and now Ryu left up. And now we've got a little bit of a tougher spot. 2 power clams though. This is enough for the lead if they end up scoring both, but they're kind of on the back foot now. They don't have really strong positions on plat. The cooler is up and ready to go, and they're looking to just start a fight, but Mako is super low HP as well. The Splashdown comes through for some space, but that means Benny ends up dropping here, and now Deutschland, they're not long for staying on flat here.
Oh yeah, all those clams going back to the depths, one could say here. They really started struggling as they did take their time on that push, giving Hello Bro the perfect opportunity to move forward. But as I say that, literally bringing the crab and everyone else here forward. That was 2 down for Hello Bro, quickly bringing the tides back in their favor potentially. I don't know. This is very wish-washy. Hello Bro definitely still has the general advantage. I do still see that clam in their favor and the lead, of course. But realistically, like 2 power clams and then some should be enough to even like swap the lead over, which is kind of crazy. So it is still a fragile lead for Hello Bro, and it could still very well be taken back. So they still got to play these last 10 seconds carefully.
Yeah, absolutely. But with 2 power clams and a lot of space on the plat created by Spec on that sword, they've got so much to work with. And Deutschland, they need to find something. They need to find either a miracle flank from one of their players, or they need to find an immediate wipeout into scoring both these clams. And it looks like they're opting for the second one, just trying to make a mad dash for Pyro on this, but Spec is right there to shut it down. Nobody's able to contest that. Benny might score it, maybe. There's the power clam. We just need about 5 more clams to tie it, and nobody's there. Mako's able to find 3, and Benny's right here again. The splashdown comes through, but there's no clams. Wait a minute, Helma has them. They just need 2 more. Multi's got 1. Now it's just Benny. Can you run in 3? No. And Hello Bro hang on by the skin of their teeth in game 4. They want that rematch with Perish Song, and they will get it in grand finals.
That was too close for comfort for Hello Bro. That genuinely one clam away from a loss, but just able to keep themselves in it. Hello Bro, as you said, will be moving forward into grand finals to hopefully get some revenge on Perish Song. This entire match was something.
Yeah, that was wow. I can't believe that all that happened. We were super close on game 4. The rest of the games were a little bit interesting as well. That game 2 especially was just a shocker.
Yeah, that was we got another view of a squid, we can say.
Yeah.
We got a never seen before Splatoon edition. But that does wrap up the Losers Bracket Finals. And as we said, Hello Bro will be moving forward again. Are we? We're going back to it. We're going back to it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. This is what peak Splatoon looks like.
This is what high level Splatoon is looking for. This is what we need here.
Also, Multi was on the floor, actually. Multi was up there. They didn't disappear. They teleported to the left. Hold on. Look at this. Look where Habna is. Wait for it. Where are they? I just saw.
I'm waiting.
We're right there.
Oh, hello. They weren't even the player that disconnected. What?
New information. Okay. Well, as
there's 2 players on Hello Bro that DC'd.
Yep. Multi took all the attention there.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah. Shall we go to a break? Question mark.
A short one can't hurt, surely. We'll be right back with grand finals after a little bit.
fun to watch. And it's going to be Hello Bro here that gets that first advantage, is bringing 2 players down here on Parasong, quickly moving themselves forward here.
Yep, and Parasong, they've got to try contesting the Inkback just a little bit. There's an Inkback of their own from Aramis, and it's going to work out fairly well so far. It's just Mar left standing, and they're going to have to back up even further thanks to that Inkback shot. There's the immediate checkpoint break from Felty, and already off to an early lead for Parasong, but obviously, like, the checkpoint is kind of a given on this map. You have to get past Elbow somehow if you're going to do any kind of damage, and with 2 players down, I don't think Parasong is going to be able to just yet.
Yeah, they are able to keep a little bit of that space, but as the rest of the players forced back here, Hello Bro moving straight forward. It scares me that the Rainmaker is still back where it is, considering some previous happenings that happened for Hello Bro, but they are cleared up. Last 2 players here are up, trying to keep that space as long as they can. Make that one here, no more Rainmaker in the hands of Hello Bro as Parasong's players move forward and are finding some space of their own.
They've got the Killer Whale popped from this 52 gal as well, just looking for that second one, but Ryu's able to clean that one up, looking for the Rainmaker now, able to find that one as well. Now just has to get back behind cover before Phoenix just runs them down and is able to safely so far. The Inkback pops fairly early just to try and extend this push going, but the 52 gal is able to find one, trades out with the blaster, and now we've got a pretty tough circumstance for Hello Bro. They don't have that many specials to work with, just the Booyah Bomb, and they still have to take full control of top mid here if they want to start scoring.
Oh, and being within the range of a blaster is quite a difficult position to find yourself in. Parasong is moving forward once again, opting to get as many points as they can here. Do see those 3 players up and see the Inkback, but Argentina is going to be moving a little bit ahead of it, finding themselves back at respawn. They are able to get a pick here with that back, but opting to stay in center here to keep their space and keep themselves alive here on Parasong.
Yeah, and now Parasong, they still have a little bit of a foothold. As I say that, I'm a big fat liar, as 2 players end up going down. So does Phoenix, and Hello Bro immediately flipped the situation on its head. And now it's just the 52 gal left, able to find one, looking for that second. Can you find it? No, not quite. The Rainmaker, though, is being stalled out by this 96 and the Inkback that it has. And there's the counter back from Ryu, looking just to absorb that shot. Not quite going to find it, but I mean, you've got a lot of space to work with. You're able to start charging an Inkback again after the checkpoint break. It's just the 52 gal you have to be worried about. And unfortunately, they're just wide swinging the Rainmaker. They don't even care. And they're able to get the full wipeout because of that scramble situation created. Excellent work from Parasong, and they're still able to hold this lead very well.
Yeah, I have to give props because Parasong is really good at punishing what they see fit. Like, they have done a really good job at capitalizing off of Hello Bro whenever they do hesitate a little bit, and I just love to see it. Hello Bro themselves, though, is going to be looking to hopefully get a more yellow here in center. They have 3 players focused on the elbow, trying to clear it out, not letting for any pesky sharks or any pesky players of Parasong. Strikes make their way into center, but not much happening with it, as a blaster is already at them with the time that it took to even clear the bit of space. Hello Bro finding themselves in troubled waters once more. The Rainmaker is going to continue to move forward and hopefully pass those 21 points remaining.
Well, they found Miner, though, as well. That bucket shark was something to be really concerned about earlier, but I mean, it's going to cost the rest of the team and the rest of this push even. They're just able to run it all the way to where to that snipe area, but not much further. Phoenix, again, just sitting in this bottom right-hand side, now has the support from the 52, who trades out 2v2 in for mid now, and with Miner having strikes, this looks to be a pretty solid start for Hello Bro. There, the strikes coming through just pretty far, forcing the 96 all the way back behind the checkpoint, and everybody even further. Felty is barely able to contest mid right now, and I mean, now we've got a pretty difficult situation to be in for Parasong. The checkpoint is looking to be broken. Phoenix isn't able to contest, his Miner is right there. Same thing with Ryu, but it's only the checkpoint that ends up being broken from this push. As the VAC comes through, the rest of the fight is won by Parasong, and they still maintain an iron fist over this map.
Yeah, I do like how Hello Bro was able to maintain some control in mid here before Parasong was able to run them over with some blue here. But now that everyone is back, it looks like they're here to pick an actual even fight. And beautiful triple from Argentina. What is that? It just literally ran forward, took 3 just because they can, and keeping that aura forward. Last 10 seconds here, and Parasong has the advantage. They don't need to push forward. It's Hello Bro that has to fight tooth and nail to get their hands on that Rainmaker and to not lose it the second they do it, but the whistle blows before they even get the chance, and Parasong takes the first game.
Excellent work from Parasong. I mean, they really just didn't give Hello Bro much of a chance at anything really. Every single time they were close to breaking the checkpoint, something went wrong. Something went in the way of Parasong, whether it was the vac being ready, whether it was players respawning at the right time, the tri-strikes coming through. Parasong just always had an answer and just an ability to counter whatever Hello Bro were thinking of doing for their pushes. And it worked out really well in their favor, especially since they got that early push going. Down to 21 points. That is kind of the break point for that map, just around the low 20s, around once you get to that ink rail. It's just hard to come back after that point.
Yeah, absolutely. It's easy to get the points to like 30 or 40, but yeah, past those like 20 or so, it gets a little bit more difficult. I think it definitely doesn't help that this map is it's a playground. It's very wide. It's very different to what every other map offers, and I think a lot of teams or a lot of players can get really lost in that, and I think that's what unfortunately happened there with Hello Bro, and Parasong was just in their element. That said, we're going to be going back to Clamlet Scorch Gorge. Scorch Gorge, my hated and beloved.
This one's fun. I'm curious to see if we see Hello Bro kind of answer back on this map like they did in Winter Semis at the very start of this block, where they just had some incredible plays, incredible clam economy, and just cycling everything. They were able to win a lot of fights, even low on players, get the stagger going against Dragonclaw. But I don't know. It might be really tough against a team, you know, or a pickup of the caliber of Parasong. I'm curious as to what they bring. Mainly with Ryu, just are you going to bring the V Mini, the Zinc Mini, or that Vanilla 96 with the VAC? Any of them can work fairly well here. It's just a question of how you're going to... Never mind, none of them.
None of the above. We literally got none of the above. Forge?
The answer was D, the Forge Bro, and Spec switching over to that Zip Stamper as well. Just trying to turn into Thanos on this map, just trying to find as many picks and extend as many plays as possible with the Zipcaster. Still have the Booyah Bomb at the ready though. Phoenix is able to find find one, and that's going to be a very tough opening for Hello Bro to come back from. They do eventually get the trades, and they take some map control here, and with Spec and Ryu just on the just trying to push forwards and getting Mar set up, they've got a little bit of a foothold going, just not the most clams in the world. And that's sort of the problem with this map, especially early, is if you get an early fight win, you have to win at least one more to start scoring.
Yeah, and our tide is definitely reversed. It feels like Parasong is a little bit slower here on this map in comparison to the previous one. Hello Bro was able to go down too and come back with all four still, but Parasong is still able to get those punishes, especially with our blaster player there. But again, slowly but surely being pushed back, Hello Bro is able to find a lot more space, but almost here to a clam, potentially able to get a push. It's just, they can get those last three clams there together. That'll be the first push of the match in their favor.
Homar just needed one more, wasn't able to pick it up in time to start scoring, and that's going to be a really tough go for Hello Bro. They had everything going in their favor, just not able to kind of get those clams put together. And now Parasong, they're making them pay. They've got the 52 gal set up. Phoenix is immediately behind that with the blaster, and then you have Felty on this left-hand side watching any drops. There's the power clam dunked in from Aramis from that mini splatling the Rattler version with the Zuka, and I mean, now the scoring is wide open, down to 50 points. Fufu, this is crazy.
Yeah, seeing the pod spawn next to them as well. It's like all the stars align there, but it seems like their basket is supposed to close. Able to get a couple more clams in to keep it alive for a little bit longer. And Parasong has every intention to keep scoring points. 3 players may be here in the front, but it doesn't mean that they are done with the action. Faye here in the back, putting some extra clams. I like how they're just sending one player off in the back. All right, we need more clams. Guys, there's no more clams here. We need more clams. The clams are all the way back there. And it really is these last, like, one more clam, and that's game. Just like that, Parasong cruised their way to another victory.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a repeat of the winter semis. You know, 2 turns have already elapsed, and with how good Parasong has looked, it could be another 3-0 here. Hello Bro's got to find an answer somehow, and so far, nothing has quite worked. They haven't been able to stop the blaster or the 52, and maybe they have to bring the ink vac back. That might be the best way to kind of deal with it, but on Mahi Mahi, there's not a lot of space to work with. There's not much space to paint for that vac, and you have to deal with the elephants in the room of those 2 front lines before doing anything.
No, yeah, for sure. Again, it's the curse of the wide maps. I feel like as we've been going through the set, the maps have been getting wider and wider. Just more and more space here, and then it closes off again during the last two. But it's just a matter of we're gonna get here. It's gonna take quite a lot for Hello Bro to really come back from this, especially since I feel Parasong has already dug their claws into them personally, and with the momentum of not only winning the winners bracket in a 3-0 sweep, taking the previous two games on top of that, they are going to be pretty motivated to finish this off.
Oh, absolutely. I am very concerned for Hello Bro, but Parasong, they are raring to go. They are unstoppable right now, and I'm also curious to see what the two quote unquote support players are going to pick between Aramis and Bochi Ryu. Because we've seen a bunch of different weapons so far these past couple of sets. We saw mini splatlings, we've seen Forge 96. Curious to see what the right answer for both them is going to be here, just because you kind of have everything covered with both these teams. You're free to kind of pick whatever you want.
No, yeah, absolutely. The flexibility and the options are endless. And the option says Stamper. We're going with Stamper. Heavy Splatling and Pencil coming out for Parasong here, which again I'm a big fan of. We've seen them split their front lines and anchors, and it worked tremendously in their favor last time. So they're hoping to get that same value as they did before. But boom, quite the bloodshed here in center, 2 down for Parasong, giving Hello Bro an opportunity to move forward. They're gonna lose 3 players in response here, just leaving Yves here as the final player standing. Beautiful opening there for Parasong as they're just able to look. Everyone's just like, all right, we move.
Just immediately running forwards in front of that zone, trying to get set up, and the pen gets picked off on the side of Hello Bro, and now they're in a bit of a tough spot here, just trying to get back in. They don't have a lot of options realistically. They just have the tri-strikes as something consistent, so they have to play for some picks here. The killer whale's coming through, the strikes are immediately there. Ryu forces a jump out, looking for that pick on the Phoenix. Miner's able to trade it, and now we're down to 40 points left for Parasong. They're still ticking away at this zone. Nobody's been able to even touch it on the side of Hello Bro. The pen ends up going down yet again. That's a delayed wipeout. It's just Ryu who finds one, looking for the second, but just not quite going to be enough. Parasong, they are just 1 pick away from winning this grand finals, and one of the most dominant grand finals we've ever seen. Fufu, there it is, the strikes come through, but it's simply not going to be enough. Parasong take another 3-0 win, and they are your Paddling Pool 379 champions.
What a set. Again, they repeated what they did last time. They went in with the force that they always do. And just like that, in an 100-0 sweep, they closed it all out. Parasong, what a group here.
Yeah, that's honestly an insane squad right there. I was raising eyebrows when I first saw that roster with 3 backline players, but they were able to make it work. It looks like they didn't need the third one, and the heavy pen is just so strong on zones, especially on Mahi. Holy smokes.
Yeah, it's so much paint, so much chip, and just it's a lot of crossfire power. And again, for someone that may have not been tuned in for the last little while, it's like, what do you mean? What do you mean we're playing heavy Splatling and Pencil in the same comp? It just works. Don't question it.
You kind of just can do whatever you want on zones, especially with double backline. It's probably the best mode for it, and I mean, we saw exactly why there. It's just so hard to contest.
It really is, but that does wrap up Paddling Pool 379. Parasong, once again, are your winners for this tournament. Another great weekly here, and a little bit of a different format today, but it's been plenty fun here, Sig.
Absolutely, it's been a great time, but before we go, Fufu, where can the lovely people find you?
You guys can find me at SplatFufu on Blue Sky. It'll be splatfufu.sunsetsurs.inc. There it is. Oops. Sig, amazing time on the mic. As always, love being here with you. Where can the people find you?
You can find me just about anywhere at Sigdokari, whether that is Blue Sky, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Discord, any of that stuff. Sendu as well. Wherever the Splatoon community hangs out, I'm probably there. But again, huge thank you for putting on the event to Dapple. Huge thanks for commentating with me. That was a great time, and massive thank you to our stream runner Jarian for running this stuff. Bit of a hectic time, bit of a few of these sets have been pretty interesting, but that's gonna do it from us. We will see y'all. We as Dapple Productions will see y'all on Friday with Triton Cup.
See ya.